What's up, guys? How's it going? My name is Tyson, and today we're going to be diving into the world of notifications inside of ClickFunnels 2.0. Now, today specifically, we'll be breaking down how to send custom information that you're collecting within a form or opt-in page, whatever it is in this case, to your email. Essentially setting up an email notification with custom data. That way you can have any information that you need that's important to you at a moment's notice, right? It's going to be sent directly to your email inbox or directly notify you inside the platform. Either way, however you prefer having that set up. But in this case, let's go and dive into the platform here. I'll show you how to set everything up step by step. Okay, we're currently inside of a page here or a funnel that I created specifically for this video. And before we move forward, I'm assuming that you're watching this video because you're already collecting information. You know how to set up a notification necessarily instead of a workflow. I'll walk through the whole process as far as set up a workflow with this notification, everything like that. But I'm assuming that you already have a form where you're collecting information, right? That's gonna be the baseline here. If not, make sure to create one first. Really, you just need at least two things to make sure it's functioning correctly. An email input field, a button set to submit, and that's it. That's the bare minimum there as far as making sure that everything is set up correctly to collect information. But we're gonna go a step further. We're gonna collect custom data inside of our form here. And I'm gonna use the second step inside the funnel because this is an application funnel. We're collecting information here within this funnel. And we're gonna add a new input field on the page. We're gonna just duplicate an existing field here. From here, let's go and change it up a little bit so we can definitely see the difference between two of them. In this case, let's go with something like, what's your favorite sport? What is your favorite sport? All right, it's definitely not a question I already have here, so it should fit in well. Now, on the actual input field itself, click on that. Make sure that we have this set up as a custom type. So up here, under the input type option, or the drop down here, select custom type at the very bottom. All right, now the first thing we have to do from here is now actually give this guy a name. You want to make sure it's something very clear as far as what the information is that you're collecting. That way there's no confusion at all what this is actually going to be about when we move forward and set up inside the notification, right? Just for now, just make sure you're naming it. It's something relatively easy to understand. In this case, we're going to go with what? I'm literally going to say the exact same thing I typed over there. What is your favorite sport? Right, there we go. Fantastic. We're going to make sure this is set as required. And for the label, type sports here. There we go. All right, just tell them where to go, tell them what to do there in a specific instance. All right, with that in place, now what we have to do is actually save the page. All right, so we have everything we need here as far as the custom information, the custom input field on the actual page. It's set up, it has a value associated with it. So next thing we have to do is save it and test it. So we have to go ahead and click on the little preview icon here to open it up in a new tab there. And we're actually gonna go through and test it out as if we are trying to fill this information in. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. We'll just type in football here. All right, there we go. I'll leave that blank. What if it'll just, there we go. For the drop downs, we'll just select anything here. And we'll just type in some test information. Okay, the main thing that we're really after here is gonna be this guy right here. Now, the reason why we're testing it out is because without doing so, ClickFunnels is not gonna register that value as actual data inside of the platform. So we have to go in and submit this, that way it is stored data inside of the platform. From there, it will show up in the dropdown for notifications as a custom type. So we'll go ahead and from here, submit. So click on the button here to submit the page. And it's going to take us to the next step inside the funnel. Did we miss something? We did. Here we go. And yeah, there we go. All right. From there, it should take us to the next step. After that, after the page is submitted, you're good to go. Just go ahead and exit out of this. And from here, we're going to go and exit out of the step as well, or whatever you're on. If you're doing this on a page, awesome, no worries. Just back out of the editor completely. And we're going to head to either, if you're doing this for a page, you're going to have to go directly to the workflow. So I'll show you that after this, I guess. In this case, we're going to start off with the funnel first and show you how to edit from here. So I'm going to add a new workflow and attach it to this particular step right here. Seeing how we're working inside of a funnel. So when this form is actually submitted, we're going to have it. So let's see, application form notification. There we go. For the event type, we're going to go ahead and make sure this is set to opt-in because that's what's happening on this page, and we'll create the workflow. All right. With that in place, the triggers all set up. Awesome. We have to actually add the notification to the steps or to the sequence here for the workflow. So click on the little plus icon on this line right here, and on the right hand side, you'll see a bunch of options appear. The one we're after here in this case is going to be notify. Click on that directly. After clicking on notify, you'll see that there is a little thing that will pop up in the middle of the screen there. Essentially, this is just going to be the setup process for your notification here, right? We want to first off select the team member that you want to be notified once this workflow is actually triggered, right? So if we go over here, I'm going to select my own name in this case, and we're going to move down to message. Now, this is where the magic actually is going to happen as far as setting up the custom values that are going to be sent out and attached to this specific message. So we're going to first label things out. And the main thing we're actually after here in this case is going to be that custom value, right? That's the whole point of this video. But we're going to go ahead and just type in, let's say favorite sport, right? That was the custom value that we set up there. And now from here, click on merge tags. Actually, we're going to put a little dash here just so we can kind of separate. There we go. All right, now click on merge tags and go to the very bottom. You're going to see the option that we just created. Actually, there's a few different ones because there's a bunch of different custom values there. But the one we're looking for is this guy right here. What is your favorite sport? Click on that directly. It's going to be labeled exactly how you created it inside of that form. And that's basically it. You have the actual custom information selected now. So if someone fills out this application and they fill in that specific field with any information at all, it's going to submit that to us and notify us with whatever they put there, right? And the main reason we want to actually test this before coming in and setting up this notification is because the actual merge tag will not display. Like I said, the ClickFunnels will not verify or show it as an actual value without first testing the page and submitting it or declaring it as a value essentially, right? Once you test out the page, it will then immediately show up in this drop-down list for merge tags. Okay, and that's any custom value that you are creating. As you can see, if we go back to the merge tag list, there's a bunch of other options here as far as those custom input fields that we had created on that form already. But the main one we were after again is this guy. Okay, now let's go ahead and set up the notification type. In this case, I usually go with email and notification personally. Notification just simply means that you're going to be notified in the platform directly. So if you happen to be in here working on a funnel or page, whatever it is, working on emails, you'll be notified while you're already in the platform. Super nice, definitely good to have there. But the other one is pretty obvious, the email, right? It's going to be sent directly to the email associated with this team member right here. Okay, with that in place, let's go ahead and create the step. And we are pretty much good to go. There's one last thing. Just go ahead and turn this to live by clicking on this little toggle switch up here in the top right and then hit enable. Okay, now that's it for funnels, but let's go ahead and dive into it a little bit further with pages. It's basically the same thing. There's only a little bit of a variation there as far as the step goes, with the actual workflow. But you know, as far as actually testing everything out, you still want to do the exact same thing we kind of went through with the funnel itself. You want to make sure once you add the custom input field to test the page, still opt in, all that good stuff, that is still going to be required here in order for that to show up. But the only difference is that once you've tested it out, or after you've tested it out, you'll want to leave the editor and go to marketing over here in the left-hand side of the screen, right? Within that left-hand navigation. Once you click on that, it'll take you directly to your workflows. And from here, you'll actually create a new workflow, right? Unless you already have an existing one, then just use that, click on it directly, add that notification, or notify option there as far as step in the sequence. Or if you're starting fresh, that's okay. Just click on add new workflow and it'll take you to the setup process here, which basically just is giving it a name, set up the run type. We'll call this test here in this particular case. And for the run type, we'll go to, let's see, only one run per contact. It's totally up to you as far as what you want to set it up as. I do break that down further in other videos. Just know that I guess the difference between these two is, do you want them to be able to opt in more than once, and do you want the email to fire every single time, or the workflow to fire every single time that they opt in? That's totally up to you. These two right here allow people to opt in more than once and go through this workflow every single time that they opt in, essentially. So totally up to you. Personally, I only go with one run per contact, at least for this particular scenario. I do not want to be notified if the same person opts in 20 different times in the same page. So we'll go ahead and click on create workflow from here. Once this page loads, the first thing we have to do is add a trigger. As of right now, nothing is going to be set up. So we have to click on this option right here in the center of the screen, click on add a trigger. And right from the get-go, I usually turn this guy to active right from the start, just so you don't have to click again or make sure it's live later on. But the next thing we want to do is actually select the event type. We're going to go with the exact same one that we set up for the actual opt-in funnel, or the funnel itself, right, which was opt-in. And moving down the page, the next thing is going to be funnel. Leave this blank. You do not want anything here if you are setting this up or your form lives on just a regular page. Okay, do not select anything for the funnel. Just select something for the page if this is the case, right? Just scroll down or type it in, whatever it is that you're looking for until you find it. I'm going to go with this one for this particular example. Moving down the page here, we have the option to allow anonymous contacts or not. I usually turn this guy off. Essentially what it means is, do you want people to move through without an actual email? In this case, no. That is definitely something we want to collect when it comes to contacts and leads. But for you, totally up to you as far as what you are after on information-wise. But in this case, I want to make sure that people are actually opting in with emails. So we'll go ahead and click on Create Trigger. And after that, we're going to go ahead and exit out of this and add that new notification step, right? So click on a little plus icon there on that line and scroll down until you see the option for Notify. This one right here. There we are. And basically same setup process from here, right? Go through, give it a name, or actually select a team member that you want to be notified. Set up your message, select your merge tag, which is going to be that custom value that we set up for the actual input field, right? We want to make sure that information is actually being sent, and then set up the actual notification type. There we go. All right. Last thing we want to double check here is to make sure that this guy's actually turned on. So just click over here, toggle, or this little toggle switch. Once you click on it, it'll show a little pop-up allowing you to enable. And that's it. Okay, now that you know how to set up a workflow for both pages and funnels for this particular objective of actually sending out custom information for your notifications, we're gonna go ahead and test the page out I showed originally inside of that funnel. And I'm gonna show you exactly how the email comes through and what it looks like. All right, just so you can see it. Okay, here we go. So right here at the very top, you can see the email as far as how it comes through. This is what it's going to look like for you. Well, it might look a little bit different based off the email platform you use, but either way, the subject line should be notification. All right, so click on that directly and you'll be able to see the information a year after. In this case, the only one that we actually added there as far as the value goes is going to be that custom data, which is exactly what you're after here in this case. If you have any questions or would like some clarity around anything that I covered here today, make sure to leave it down below in the comments. I do my best to answer everything as best I can. Otherwise, if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.